Hey, what's up all, it's Jono here, and welcome back to Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue Rescue Team. So, last time, well, apart from the fact that myself and Squirtle evolved, we finally started checking out some of the remaining side quests of the game. There's not too many as far as I'm aware. Last time we went to Western Cave and defeated the very strong Pokemon that lived there, that Pokemon being Mewtwo. And next, I want to, well, move on to the next side quest. But there's a few things I need to do before we unlock that. But just like in the previous dungeon, this episode and the next episode, what I've done is I recorded my playthrough of the dungeon and then I'm adding the commentary through editing. You know, mainly to save time, and my memory of Murky Cave is still buried in me, and even though that was only a 20-floor dungeon, it ended up being a nightmare. Plus, also, the last time I did a 99th floor, well, the first time I did a 99th floor dungeon in this Let's Play, it was pretty much unedited, and it was just the same thing. Rather boring, in my opinion. So I figured doing it in an edited style for this kind of dungeon would make the most sense. So yeah, as I said, we need to take care of a few things before we unlock the next side quest. What is that? Well, we need to recruit some new Pokemon. Specifically, I need to recruit the legendary birds. Since we last met, how much have you furthered your team? How much stronger? Your power. Demonstrate it for me. Alright, if you insist, Zapdos. How about a Shockwave? Yeah, you didn't last that long, did you, Zapdos? And yes, you want to join the team. Although, actually, this was actually the second attempt of recruiting Zapdos, because the first time it decided it didn't want to be recruited. But because I managed to recruit Zapdos, I managed to gain access to the friend area Legendary Island. So yeah, that was Mount Thunder Peak, and next up I switched to Wartortle to go to Mount Blaze. Because I figured Wartortle would, well, either myself or Wartortle, but I figured, you know what, Wartortle, I think you can handle Moltres pretty well, so let's see what we can do. Well, bring it on, Moltres, show me. Yes, I will gladly do that. So, let's just start off with a good old Hydro Pump. But you were able to survive that. Good job, Moltres. Well, one more Hydro Pump, as long as I don't miss, will finish it off, and indeed it does. And Moltres actually only took just the one attempt to recruit. I mean, obviously, apart from the previous time we encountered these three Pokemon, like much earlier on in the game, but post-end game, yep, only took one attempt to try to recruit Moltres, so not too bad. And then finally into the Frozen Forest, I think. And Articuno! You mean to challenge me? Yes, I do, Articuno. And actually, again, this is actually the second attempt of me trying to recruit Articuno. Because I think they only have, what was it? I think it was something like a 30% chance or something like that of being able to recruit them, at least after the initial encounter earlier on in the game. Anyway, we'll start with a Shockwave, but again, you were able to survive that. Although thinking about it, that attack against Zapdos was a critical hit, so I guess that's no surprise. But there we go, Articuno wants to join the team, and that means all three of the legendary bird Pokemon are now part of Team Dynamo. And that will allow me to unlock the next side quest. But before we actually activate the next side quest, I decided to do something that I haven't done in a little while. I filled my toolbox with a ton of gummies, and I figured, well, I had a lot of gummies in the Kangaskhan storage, so I decided, you know what, we'll give some to Wartortle. Maybe you'll get some new skills, and indeed, Wartortle now knows how to use Quick Dodger. So I'll give Wartortle a few more, and there we go, we got a new one, Type Advantage Master. I figured, myself, I know, have a few, quite a few new IQ skills, so, that I knew that Wartortle didn't, so I figured, let's give Wartortle a few gummies, and hopefully you will know a few new IQ skills. And there you go, another one, Weak Type Picker. Just keep feeding Wartortle the gummies. If anything, at least it'll boost its stats as well, so it's all good. And that's the one I actually wanted Wartortle to learn, Trap Avoider. Because, you know, we got screwed over quite a few times with the traps, especially in Murky Cave, so I figured if Wartortle has that IQ skill, like I have, hopefully we can avoid setting off too many traps going forward. So, that was the one I wanted to see, that I wanted Wartortle to learn. Also, Wartortle learned how to use Non-Sleeper. But the Trap Avoider one was the one I wanted to get for Wartortle. Anyway, I'm back in Pokemon Square because I actually want to talk to Alakazam. I've heard of a weather anomaly afflicting a certain sea. They say a whirlpool stretches from sea to sky in a colossal tornado. It is said to be near the legendary island Friend area. It hasn't caused any damage so far as I know, but it does concern me. The legendary island belongs to your team. Indeed it does. Will you travel to the legendary island and observe what is taking place? I sure will. Oh, thanks very much, Alakazam. So, in order to actually get there, we need to, well, go to the usual exit where we speak to our Pokemon. So we'll just pick one of the Pokemon. We'll just pick Moltres because why not? And here we are, Legendary Island. So we can see Articuno in front of us. There's Moltres. And there's Zapdos. So maybe these three Pokemon will know what's going on. Ooh, what is that? Fire, ice, and electricity. When the three powers merge as one, the Guardian of the Sea is said to arise. Our arrival at the legendary island. The three of us caused the Sea Guardian to awaken. It is what caused whirlpools to grow into tornadoes. I have here the Vortex Stone. Bearing it, you will gain passage through the sea's tornadoes. It will lead you to a place called the Silver Trench. There you will find a Guardian of the Sea. Now go. The Guardian of the Sea awaits you. And I think I have a pretty good idea of who the Guardian of the Sea is, but there we go, we got ourselves the Vortex Stone. And gained access to the Silver Trench. And so with that little cutscene over, we can now check out the next dungeon. But there's a few things I need to take care of first. One of which is, well, I think seeing as we're going to be going underwater, I figured I should change one of my moves. Seeing as we're going to be going underwater, there's no point in me knowing Dig, so I decided to relearn Thundershock because I think that'll be the most useful thing to know underwater. So I've already recruited Wartortle with me, it's finally time to check out Silver Trench. I think I have an idea what kind of Pokemon we're going to expect, but with 99 floors waiting for me, it's probably going to be a long journey. So here we are, first floor of Silver Trench. And I just decided to set Thundershock. Ooh, max elixir already. So just like in the previous dungeon, I pretty much stocked up on a ton of Reviver Seeds. As well as quite a few max elixirs and a few orbs as well. You know, just the usual sort of things. Also, plenty of orbs. Ow! A Bubble Beam. But yeah, these Pokemon are not that strong. At least right now. And even if it were, I mean, I have the type advantage, so it doesn't really matter. Anyway, let's move on to the third floor. And also, just like in the previous dungeon, this is going to be pretty heavily edited. In a way that I'm not going to be showing you absolutely everything, but, you know, I'm going to show you some of the main things. Anyway, just changing the IQ skills there, including activating Trap Avoider for Wartortle, so hopefully, well, for both of us now, when walking over traps, we should have a chance of not activating them at all. Although, being underwater, at least on the plus side, just activate a quick dodge there. At least on the plus side, because it's underwater, there's going to be no explosion traps, so at least that's something. Anyway, blue gummy, so I figured, you know what, might as well chuck that at Wartortle. I gave you a whole bunch of gummies before, but I guess it wouldn't hurt to give you a few more. So we're just going to carry on. They've got a Wingull here, but yeah, these Pokemon, at least right now, aren't too difficult. And yes, just like before, the vast majority of the time, as soon as I see the stairs, we're just going to go down them, because I don't really want to spend too long exploring. And unless I'm very much mistaken, there aren't really like any unique treasures. Unlike in Western Cave, where on a certain floor there was a locked chamber. Unless I'm very much mistaken, I don't think there's really like any specific treasure in this dungeon. So I wasn't worried about, you know, whether I missed any treasure. And even if I was wanting to find certain treasures, even if there was apparently any treasures, I'll just come back. It's no big deal. But the main thing I want to do is just get through this dungeon and, well, meet the Guardian of the Seas. Anyway, moving on to the 5th floor. So far, so good. Yeah, even a water gun not being very effective against a water-type Pokemon, Wartortle still does quite a bit of damage. So I'm quite happy with that. Ooh, a Kabuto. A seed? Sadly, not a Reviver Seed. In fact, I don't believe any Reviver Seeds are to be found in this dungeon, so that's a shame. But I'm already stocked up anyway, so I'm not too worried. That Omanyte actually managed to survive a bog standard attack on me. Tentacool though, yeah, no such luck. So just looking through the IQ list there, I'm not entirely sure what I was going to do actually, but whatever it was, I didn't need to worry about it. Also, nice sniping there, Wartortle. Ooh, a delicious Oran Berry though. And I'm already full, but as I said, I'm not going to take a huge amount of items with me, so I don't need those glasses, so we're just going to skip ahead because nothing major really happened. Tentacool wants to join the team, but just like before, I am not interested in recruiting any Pokemon. And just like the previous dungeon, I'm only really going to show some of the more major things. I'm going to be skipping... Well, I won't be skipping, like, entire floors, like, in terms of the editing. I'll show you, like, at the beginning of the floor and then the end of the floor before we go down the stairs, but... For quite a few of these floors, especially later on in this dungeon, I'm definitely going to be editing it out a bit more, just to try and keep things flowing a little bit better. Unless it doesn't take me that long to get through the floor in the first place. Anyway, nice convenient stairs. Getting a bit ganged up, though, by a bunch of Pokemon. Although that seal really isn't doing a good job at trying to attack Wartortle, and now it's paying the price. There we go, taking care of that. Thief, but not really interested in grabbing that. Not in the mood to check out any other bits of this floor, so I might as well keep on going. Another nice bit of sniping there by Wartortle. So we've got the stairs in this same room, but I just want to see what the items were, but just some gravel rock or a geopebble, whatever they're called, and a bit of money. I figured we're not too far from the next room, might as well see what it is, but it's only money. I didn't want to venture too far in, just in case I activated any traps. There was 2 other items to find. Oh, it was gravel rock, okay. But there was a few other items, but again, I wasn't really that interested in trying to see what they are because they weren't anything I'm interested in. But I figured I'd have a look at it anyway for this case. Not the one in the bottom corner, though. Was not worth it. And despite the fact of me wanting to avoid traps, I still managed to activate a PP0 trap, because of course I would. And hey, spawned right next to the stairs, with the Corsola guarding it. But no match for me. we'll just move on to the 12th floor. Ooh, a bunch of items. In fact, all the items on this floor are on this one floor, which is kind of cool. Stepping on a raspberry there, might as well eat it just to very slightly fill up my belly. Let's move on to the next floor. I'm getting very lucky with the stairs here, actually, so all is pretty good. There we go, double team that slowpoke there. I'll eat this raspberry again. We'll see what that is, but it's just money. Not going to worry about grabbing that because I have a ton of money anyway. Ooh, I think this is the first time we've seen Anarif in this dungeon. Also, first thing we've encountered in this dungeon, grimy food. Yeah, we've not encountered like any apples and that, but we've got some grimy food there, which is interesting to say the least. Man, all these Pokemon want to join our team all of a sudden. I know our team's awesome. Anyway, I had a quick look around, but the items in the other room weren't weren't of any significance. So just jump ahead, eat the grimy food, fill up my belly a bit, and check it out. We're immediately going to a monster house, but the entire floor is just one gigantic room. So this is the, what can I say, this is like the unique thing about this particular dungeon. Every, like on certain floors, it has just these single big rooms that are just monster houses. Which is kind of interesting. But fortunately, because we are pretty strong these days, and plus I have the type advantage, this will be no problem for both myself and Wartortle. Anyway, I've just set the Iron Thorn so I don't waste too many of my attacks. Even though I'm right next to the stairs, might as well just battle all the Pokemon. Ooh! Took a bit of a snipe there, Wartortle, but you'll be fine. Taking revenge on that Spiel there. 2-star you approaching us. I did find the TM for Shockwave though, so I figured it might not be a bad idea to grab that. So I'll just swap it for the RM Berry. Because I can use the that TM for Shockwave instead of using a Max Elixir if I wanted to. Anyway, not too many Pokemon, just a bunch of Krabby and also a Spiel right behind. Once we've taken care of these Pokemon, we should be able to check out a bit more of this floor, just see if there's anything interesting. Because, you know, with it being a monster house, there'll be potentially some very useful items, like that Shockwave I found. Anyway, finally knocking out these Pokemon. I'm trying to save using my moves. And there we go, that's the last of them. Might as well eat the RM Berry that's on the floor. Might as well pick up the Iron Thorn that missed one of the Pokemon before. I'm still walking quite, like, cautiously, just in case I activate any traps. And one Pokemon did spawn in, but nothing else apart from some money, so let's move on. 16th floor, and wow, next to the stairs once again, and more grimy food. And seeing as my belly's quite full, I figured, you know what, might as well at least check out the next room, just in case it's anything useful, but it's just money. And again, the items in the next room, so I'll have a quick look. But it's just a berry, but I might as well eat it anyway. No other items to find. Oh, but there was an Anarif waiting for us. Where did you come from? Must have been hiding in the shadows. And typical, a food item went bad right next to some grimy food. Coincidence? Probably not. Anyway, I'm getting very lucky with these stairs, at least this early in the dungeon, so that's pretty useful. Might as well grab the money, seeing it's just right next to me. But, you know, as most of the items are in the next room, might as well have a quick look. So taking care of this Krabby. There we go. Oi! I'll have that money, thank you. A sleeping horsey, and ooh! There's a bottle of Max Elixir, which is nice. So just having a look just to see if either myself or Wartortle needs the Max Elixir. And I figured, you know, Wartortle could do with replenishing some moves there. So I thought I'd chuck the Max Elixir at Wartortle because I can still pretty much use my bog standard attack. So don't need to worry about that. So no sign of the stairs right now, but quite a few items in this this room here. Which does make me a little suspicious. Is this actually going to be a monster house? Yes, it is. And yes. Although this is not, so far, not a very difficult dungeon to get through, without spoiling too much, this definitely is the dungeon that has the most amount of monster houses that I've encountered so far. I mean, it's a 99 floor dungeon, so I guess that's no surprise. But even so, yeah, there's a lot of monster houses, but you know what, I'm not worried. Especially considering, well, let's be honest, I'm a Raichu, and I'm going against a bunch of water-type Pokemon. They're not going to do much damage. I mean, I'm kind of just taking it easy by using my normal moves and saving my, like, my moves PP, but you know, not too difficult, and there we go, we very quickly defeated all the Pokemon. Ooh, a PP0 trap failed to work, haha. Ooh, another trap failed to work, another PP0 trap. Ooh, I see what the game's trying to do to me, it's trying to screw me over by making me not use my moves. Nope, we're not going to have any of that game. Also, I got a bit fed up and I just decided to use Thunder Shock on the one Pokemon just to try and clear out the room. But there we go, nothing too major. On to the 19th floor. Oh, and a Staryu greeting me. A whole bunch of items on this floor. Got an orb, it's just a warp orb. And, yes, another monster house. Oh boy. Nice sniping there by Wartortle. Now, of course, I still can't use Thunderbolt because I haven't used a Max Elixir yet, so I'm just going to have to use bog standard moves. But I figured there's quite a bit of Pokemon here, I might as well just use Thunder Shock just to clear out this room a little bit. Admittedly, having Thunderbolt would definitely be useful in a situation like this, but you know, these Pokemon, they're not really doing much damage. Like, one hit point of damage. I think we'll be okay. I'm pretty sure I'll be okay. Unfortunately, Halsey used Smokescreen, so I'm actually not going to be able to attack. I mean, I can attempt to attack, but I'm just going to constantly miss. But unfortunately, Wartortle is constantly missing as well. Even though I don't think you're under the effects of Whiffer, which is a bit unfortunate. There we go. Wartortle managed to knock out that Krabby. For some reason, it couldn't hit that Halsey. And again, Wartortle's having a horrible time trying to attack that Halsey. There we go. I finally managed to finish it off. Oh my god. Third time lucky, eh? Anyway, found Ice Beam. So, does Wartortle need to relearn Ice Beam? Not really. Another Shockwave. But I've already used the Shockwave TM before, but I figured... wait, no I haven't. Did I? No, I don't think I did I? I've got one from before. Never mind, I'm being stupid. I was thinking of something else there. I was thinking of a Max Elixir I found before. Oh yeah, that was the Grammy food that I had. And hey, look at that, Attract. But no, we don't need to bring Attract. So there was the stairs, bit of money. Some items in the top corner, but wasn't going to worry about that. So, jumping ahead on this floor, nothing major to be found, so let's move on to the next floor. Just a few items there, but again, nothing major. Either money or just items I don't really care for, so let's move on again. A few items again, so I think once again, yeah, we're just going to skip this floor as well. Right, moving on to the 23rd floor, and again spawn next to the stairs, so I figured, you know what, we might as well keep on going. And stairs once again, but there's a whole bunch of items in the next room, which I'm kind of tempted to see what it is. And surprisingly, it wasn't a monster house. I did find some more grimy food, so I figured I might as well eat it. Ooh, I inflicted a burn. But that's okay. We're right next to the stairs. And Thundershock, actually, I've run out of PP for. I don't know if I must have probably activated a PP0 trap, which probably wouldn't surprise me on one of those floors that I jump cut. As I said, I'm not going to show absolutely everything, and that includes activating any traps. Because at the end of the day, it's just... a lot of the time, the traps are just going to be an inconvenient thing to have, like those PP0 traps. But I can still do a decent amount of damage using a bog standard attack right now, so I don't need to worry about replenishing my moves just yet. Anyway, first encounter with a Celio here. That's just some money, not going to activate any traps. I'll also grab the money. 38? Ah, a rip-off. Ooh, and the first appearance of Omastar. I mean, the stairs were there, but I kind of wanted to see what all the items were in that other room. Wartortle is not having a good day today. For some reason, Wartortle is missing quite a lot of its moves. Anyway, another blue gummy found, so we'll just chuck it at you, Wartortle. No new IQ skills learnt. And, yep, just as I thought, with a bunch of items in close proximity to each other, I figured it might have been a monster house. And even though these Pokemon are stronger, again, I'm not concerned. If anything, at least with all these monster houses, I can gain, potentially, a ton of experience. Yeah, I figured I'd just use Shockwave on that Celio there, just to clear out the room a little bit. Also use Shockwave on that Grimer. Yeah, even Water Gun's only doing 1 hit point of damage. So even though these Pokemon are, well, I say quite strong in the fact that they're evolved, they're really not doing that much damage. So I am not worried at all. Also, there's an Omastar just below us, but I will let Wartortle take care of it, and there we go. All that battling's paid off. Wartortle's now level 56. Nice. But I decided not to grab the money because I didn't really want to activate any traps, so let's move on to the next floor. B28F, and again, right next to the stairs. Ooh, and conveniently, I've got myself a Troll Orb. That will save me from going, like, around to the other rooms of the dungeon. I just hope that none of those rooms are potentially a Kecleon shop. Anyway, once we take care of this Omastar, I'm going to use that Troll Orb just to see what kind of items we have. More grimy food as well as a ribbon. Another blue gummy, so I might as well just chuck that at Wartortle. And there you go, you've got Experience Go-Getter. So let's see what that does. Experience Go-Getter. When battling several foes, the Pokeball will first target Pokemon that are worth the most experience points. That could be quite useful, but to be honest, I'm not going to activate that. I am going to eat this grimy food, though. Because I'm going to keep my belly as full as possible. And I'm going to refrain from using either a Max Elixir or a Reviver Seed on myself until much later on in the dungeon. Anyway, there's the stairs. Quite a few ribbons here. Including a gold ribbon, and that's worth money. And it's going to be a difficult decision because it's quite a bit of money. But what was I going to sacrifice? But luckily I had Ice Beam that I picked up from before, so I thought Wartortle was pretty much run out of Ice Beam, so we'll teach Wartortle Ice Beam again and make room for that gold ribbon. There was quite a few items there, but you know what, I was just interested in moving on to the next floor, and oh dear. But 2 Celio and also a Carvanha just sleeping now. And Wartortle obviously doesn't like Pokemon sleeping. Okay. No mercy for sleeping Pokemon now, Wartortle. Yeah, just a bunch of money. Didn't want to activate any traps, so I might as well just move on to the next floor as soon as we find the stairs. Here comes another Celio. But jumping ahead, just a few orbs there. I think I ended up picking one up because I think I might have had some space or something, but either way, that wasn't really anything interesting. I think the other thing might have been just money, so just skip ahead to the next floor. And ow, yeah, that was a bad idea, attacking Carvanha. Anyway, let's jump ahead because even though there was a few items there, there wasn't really anything. Again, it was just money or items I didn't really want to bother taking. Anyway, again with the stairs. Ooh, and a Slowbro. So, moving on to the 35th floor, and it's another one of these floors that is just one giant room. That's a monster house. And these Pokemon are a bit stronger, so I figured, you know what, I might as well swallow a Max Elixir I found, so I can use Thunderbolt. Because we're definitely seeing some strong Pokemon here, so we've got a Kingler, we have a Almaldo, and also a Starmie. And already I've already leveled up, which is sweet. I'll just let this Starmie approach me. Starmie and a Seadra coming in to attack from below, but not too worried about the damage. Unfortunately, we've got no choice but to pretty much defeat all these Pokemon because the stairs are right on the bottom right corner of the map there, which is kind of inconvenient. Yeah, just use Thunder Shock on a Carvanha because using a bog standard attack on that will do me some serious damage. And in a monster house of this size, I don't really want to risk getting hurt too much. Although I still have a ton of Reviver Seeds, so it's not too bad. Anyway, we'll take care of these Kingdra. Sorry, Seadra rather, not Kingdra. Ooh, Friendly Fire! Oh, and Friendly Fire again! Oh, this Seadra. They show no mercy to anyone. I was kind of hoping that Seadra would do the same thing again, but sadly that wasn't to be. But it's kind of makes things a little easier when the Pokemon are pretty much attacking each other. Anyway, let's just use Thunderbolt. Nice! And there we go, cleared out the entire room already. Oh, one Pokemon did respawn, but that's okay. Ooh, and you activated a trap. Thank you very much. Oh, but I still managed to activate a trap, but thankfully nothing particularly bad happened. We're all exchanging missed attacks here. A Hurl Orb, which I picked up because I did consume that Max Elixir before. Just gonna use a Thunder Shock on you because I don't want to attack you straight away. Ooh, there's a TM, anything good? Shockwave again! Shockwave again. Oh dear. So I figured we might as well take you again. We'll exchange it for the Hurl Orb because I don't need it. Let's move on to the 36th floor. And a big room with a lot of items, but thankfully not a monster house. Ooh, that's just rude, using Gravel Rock on Wartortle there. So I might as well just use Shockwave just to clear out the room a little bit. Another TM, but that's just Calm Mind, not going to pick that up. Another TM. Taunt again, not going to take that. That's just an orb, not going to worry about that. Nice combo attack there, Wartortle. Let's move on. Another new floor. Another floor with the stairs right in my sight, so might as well go down them. And spawned right next to an Almaldo there. Yeah, not the best idea, I'm afraid. The Starmie approaching, and there's the stairs yet again. I'm just going to use Thunder Shock on the Stormy. Just some money, not going to grab it because, well, I've got enough money and it involves having to go too far into the room. And I don't want to activate any more traps. Yeah, just use a Shockwave on that Seadra. Kept missing our attacks there. Just a few orbs in this room, but the stairs are also there. I did debate about bringing the Troll Orb with me, but I decided against it. It wasn't really that necessary. A bunch of items in the top there. But we've also got the stairs in this particular room as well, so I thought, you know what, might as well just keep on going. And, ooh, the Warp Orb. But that Whalmer actually managed to catch it. And speaking of Whalmer, first time we've seen Whalmer, I think, in this dungeon. Same with the Tentacruel. Ooh, we're starting to see some different Pokemon now. But despite that, that acid attack still didn't do much damage at all. I think we've still got an advantage there. A scope lens, which we don't need, so we're just going to jump ahead to the stairs because there's nothing else much to see on that floor, so let's move on to the next one. And again, right next to the stairs. Oh, and a powerful Hydro Pump. But I figured we'll go and check this out, but I figured that might be a monster house. And while it is tempting to see what the items were, I thought, nah, let's just go down the stairs. And yet again, getting lucky with the stairs on this floor. Although it is kind of guarded by a Tentacruel right now, so I figured, yeah, let's just use a Thunder Shock and get it out of the way. Not going to grab any of the items, might as well just keep on going. Another Tentacruel greets me. What are the items? Oh, just mainly money. Oh, I might as well grab the money, seeing as I made the effort to go up that way. Thankfully, no traps have been activated, and hey, an Iron Fawn. That's nice to see. Oh, and a Seal Trap, but nice to see some Iron Fawns on the floor, so at least I can actually restock on some throwable items, which is always nice. I always like to get that much. So we've got the stairs there. Just having a quick peek if there's anything interesting. And indeed some more fawns. And now that I know that there are fawns... Ah, Sticky Trap! No! That means I can't use one of my Shockwaves, but thankfully I have a spare one anyway, so we'll just leave the sticky one behind. But now that I noticed that I can find fawns in this dungeon, I am now starting to explore a little bit more, but I'm not going to go too far out of my way just for some fawns. Love Disc at triple speed because of that agility, and yes, that does get annoying. Anyway, we'll jump straight ahead to the stairs. Nothing else to see on that floor. More Iron Fawns, which is always nice, but apart from that, nothing else to see. There was a TM there, but it wasn't anything interesting. And again, skipping this floor because we're not really seeing a huge amount of interesting stuff in the middle of this dungeon. Just mainly seeing just the same sort of stuff. And I'm getting a taste of my own medicine here. I'm now infatuated. Oh no! Now I know. Now I know what all the other Pokemon feel like when I use that tactic. In fact, Love Disc actually wanted to join RT, but wasn't really in the mood for recruiting right now. And new floor and straight into our monster house, but considering how big this room is, perhaps it's no surprise. Also, Slowking and Dratini now appearing in this dungeon. So again, the Pokemon are starting to get a bit stronger, but thankfully I have Thunderbolt, which somehow avoided that Whalmer. Oh, and also a Remoraid as well has appeared. Yeah, they weren't going to survive that, were they? Poor things. And again, I am missing the Whalmer. I don't know what it is. I didn't really... Considering how big they are, Whalmer are pretty good at dodging my Thunderbolt attacks. There we go, finally got one. And the other one. So we just got a Slowking to take care of as well as another Remoraid. Slowking got took out thanks to Wartortle. We're right next to the stairs at least, also Wartortle was standing on money, and no, my silver spikes became sticky and unusable. Now we're starting to see the sticky traps. But luckily, they haven't affected the Iron Fawns, that's good. There's a TM there, but it's only Bullet Seed, and I knew I already had it, so I figured let's move on to the next floor. But we'll continue our journey through Silver Trench in the next episode. So for now, thanks very much for watching, everyone. Don't forget to leave a like and subscribe if you enjoyed this video. And until next time, I shall catch you all later.